2026 is going to be a huge year for Hollywood Studios in Disney World, and today's Ultimate Guide is going to help you plan out your upcoming theme park visit, even if it means planning around the unexpected. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Whether you're planning a trip to Hollywood Studios in 2026 or you're just straight up curious about what on earth is going on over at this park next year, today's Ultimate Guide is not holding back. We're going to give you the DL about what's happening that might impact your future travels to Hollywood Studios, while also giving you our top recommendations for lightning lanes, restaurants, rides, shows, and more. Okay. First and foremost, Walt Disney World continues. 2026 is the year of building for Disney World. And while you might think that Magic Kingdom's getting the brunt of all that construction, because it's adding 2 new lands, I think you're going to be shocked by how much overlapping construction is slated for Hollywood Studios starting this year too, because guess what? It's getting 2 new lands as well, and a new ride in a completely different land. So earlier this summer, the whole Muppets Courtyard, which was just off Grand Avenue, closed to start accommodating construction for the new Monstropolis area, set to open at a much, much, much later date down the line. We don't even know when. Then, at the end of September of this year, Animation Courtyard, including Star Wars Launch Bay and Disney Junior Play and Dance, closed permanently to make way for the Walt Disney Studios, including the magic of Disney Animation. Now, this is a good change. We like this change because not only is this going to bring back some semblance of the Sorcerer Mickey hat that this park once sported years ago, let me know in the comments if you remember it, but it's also going to bring back just a little bit of animation into this park, like we used to experience back in the MGM Studios days before Hollywood Studios had its huge makeover. So this new studio is going to bring your favorite Disney animated characters to life, similar to the Disney short Once Upon a Studio that you can watch on Disney+. Disney also teased that you'll be able to learn how to draw certain characters here too, which I'm guessing is going to be similar to what you can do in Animal Kingdom over at Rafiki's Planet Watch. And starting at the beginning of next year, Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith is closing so that Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets can open by summer 2026. This means new Muppets animatronics, a new Muppet storyline, new music from Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, but the same old high-speed track we know and love and get whiplash from. There's also the possibility that Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run will close briefly around May as it adds new missions to its interactive ride that are based around Mando and Grogu. You'll even be able to choose your mission destination as well. The new missions are going to be out by May 22nd to go along with the new Mandalorian movie releasing around the same time. So the good news is, besides the Monstropolis construction, a lot of the current and future construction we'll be seeing in this park should wrap up in 2026. But the not so great part about that is the guests who are planning to travel here during the beginning of next year are going to get the full brunt of Hollywood Studios' construction wall era. Now, don't let that stress you out or make you feel like you should start pulling the plug on your dream vacation. Most everything else is still going to be up and running in the park for the rest of the year. Not to mention, you'll now be able to watch 2 new stage shows that just opened this past May, including Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After and The Little Mermaid: A Musical Adventure. So don't worry about buying expensive tickets for a park that has nothing to do. Just brace yourself for the potential of a whole lot of walled-off areas, and if possible, maybe take your trip in the second half of the year when many of these projects will be back up and running. Let's take a quick look at Hollywood Studios' calendar and see what special events this park has planned for 2026, okay? Over at Hollywood and Vine, Hollywood Studios' only character dining experience where you can meet Minnie, Mickey, Goofy, and Pluto, you're going to be able to experience Minnie's seasonal dine during breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm emphasizing breakfast here because that's a new thing for Hollywood and Vine that came about just recently. Remember before, the Disney Junior characters would meet with guests in the mornings, but no more. Minnie has officially expanded her holiday events to all 3 meals. The theme of Minnie's seasonal dine changes throughout the year, with a tribute to the silver screen kicking things off, followed by springtime dine, then a beach party scene, and Halloween dine. We wrap up the year with holiday dine, which likes to kick off the day after Halloween dine and last until the beginning of January. For select nights January 14th to September 12th, 2026, after-hours events will be returning to Hollywood Studios. The capacity for this special event that takes place after park park hours is limited so that guests can have super easy access to a bunch of rides, including headliner attractions like Rise of the Resistance. And guess what? Ice cream novelties, popcorn, and select drinks are included with the price of admission as well. You can have as many of them as you want. Disney After Hours at Hollywood Studios normally begins at 9:30 p.m. and lasts for 3 hours, ending at 12:30 a.m. But guests with tickets for the event may enter the park as early as 7 p.m. and get a chance to watch Fantasmic. The only outlier after hours date is May 30th, where the event's going to start an hour later at 10:30 and last until 1:30. And there's September 12th as well, where the event will start 30 minutes later at 10 p.m. and last until 1 a.m. Every year since Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has opened, Hollywood Studios goes all out celebrating May the 4th, right? Since May the 4th be with you is a thing now. And during this time, you'll be able to meet and greet with rare Star Wars characters. You'll be able to pick up limited time merch and enjoy an exclusive May the 4th snack. Now, those snacks tend to drop around April, so we'll send them your way as soon as we know about them. And best of all, if you've got a lightsaber and you want to stick around Galaxy's Edge until the evening, you can take part in a very cool lightsaber meetup. Lots of guests will also dress in fun Star Wars attire on this day to celebrate the season, which can be super fun to see and make this section of the park all the more immersive. Speaking of dress up, toward the end of the year, Hollywood Studios typically has Dapper Days, which is a fan-created event where Disney guests of all ages will come to the park wearing a Disney-inspired, vintage-looking outfit with their own modern twists. Well, they don't have to be Disney-inspired. Basically, you just dress up or cosplay, whatever you want to do that makes you feel a little bit fancier. Now, we don't know the dates for 2026, but be sure to stay tuned for more details. And finally, I'm assuming Jollywood Nights will be back in 2026 since it's been a pretty prominent part of Disney World's holiday scene since 2023. Jollywood Nights is a separately ticketed event that takes place after Hollywood Studios closes, which the park will close early on those evenings, so that party guests can enjoy a night filled with exclusive shows and limited time treats, ice skating, lots of Christmas overlays, holiday lounges, and shorter wait times for the rides. Now, you can probably tell by the name, but this is during the holiday season. Even if you're not planning on paying for an extra Jollywood Nights ticket next year, Hollywood Studios still decks out their park with festive vintage decor starting in early November. Plus, you'll be able to see specialty holiday shows like Sunset Season's Greetings that projects on the Hollywood Tower Hotel and the holiday overlay for the Frozen sing-along celebration. Also, you can meet Santa or Duffy Santa, and there's additional Christmassy streetmosphere and exclusive snacks too. By the way, if you ever want to see the 2026 big picture with all the updated hours and holiday parties and specialty events and more that's going to be going on across Disney World next year, then be sure to download our 12 Months in Disney World calendar for free by scanning the QR code you see on the screen now or by clicking on the link in the description for disneyfoodblog.com/WDW calendar right after this. We keep that updated consistently, so whatever you download is going to be a very updated version of the upcoming calendar with everything we know that's coming in the next 12 months. Ready for rides? I'm ready for rides. Hollywood Studios has fewer rides than Magic Kingdom, but the rides they do have tend to be top tier, must-do A-listers that you won't want to miss out on. So here's a one-sentence summary about every ride that's going to be available in Hollywood Studios next year to give you an idea of which ones you'll want to make your absolute priorities. Ready, set, go. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at the end of Hollywood Boulevard is the first ride you'll see as you enter the park. And while it's a really cool trackless dark ride, I'll probably never get over the fact that it replaced Great Movie Ride all those years ago. Still, lots of fun, and the line doesn't get too long, even though at the beginning of the day it'll probably be pretty long because everyone will go directly there like a moth to a flame. Rock and Roller Coaster off of Sunset Boulevard will be gone for a good chunk of next year, but when it reopens with its Muppets re-theme later on in the summer, expect this indoor coaster to jostle you around with its high-speed launch, upside-down loops, and head-banging soundtrack. Tower of Terror, also on Sunset Boulevard and a next-door neighbor to Rock and Roller Coaster, is a Twilight Zone-themed drop tower that invites you into a service elevator for a truly chilling, faster-than-the-speed-of-gravity drop sequence that's completely randomized. Star Tours over in Echo Lake is a randomized screen ride that walked so Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run could, well, run. Now, Smuggler's Run over in Galaxy's Edge assigns you a role on board the Millennium Falcon that you'll need to take seriously, since your actions do control the course of this ride. Rise of the Resistance, also in Galaxy's Edge, tends to be the most popular ride in Hollywood Studios due to its multi-story queue and live actors and state-of-the-art animatronics and thrills. Alien Swirling Saucers in Toy Story Land slings you around behind an alien spaceship along to the beat of a randomized Toy Story tune. This is mostly a kiddie ride, but it's cute and they'll love it. Slinky Dog Dash, also in Toy Story Land, is probably my personal favorite ride in the park due to its surprisingly thrilling nature, despite it being a family-friendly coaster. I just kind of giggle when I ride this, so if you like rides like that, this is the one for you. And Toy Story Mania, another Toy Story Land gem, has you competing with the other folks in your ride vehicle to see who can get the highest score after playing a series of 3D carnival-style games. So now that we've laid out all the Hollywood Studios rides for you, let's talk Lightning Lanes. Lightning Lanes are Disney's version of a premium skip the ride line service where you're going to be able to pay and select which attraction lines you want to bypass in exchange for a much shorter queue wait. There's a lot to consider when it comes to Lightning Lanes as a whole, but we've got a whole free guide on that if you want us to send it your way. Just scan the QR code on the screen or click on the link for disneyfoodblog.com/multipass after this. But for now, if you were to ask me if Lightning Lanes and Hollywood Studios were worth it, I'd say yes, absolutely. Like, you don't need them per se. You can always still stand in the standby lines for free and potentially cut down on ride wait times by using free tactics like early theme park entry if you're a Disney Hotel guest, or using extended evening hours when available as a deluxe Disney Hotel guest, or planning to ride the most popular rides during one of the Fantasmic showings, or using single rider lines, again, when available. But if you're planning on doing as much as possible in Hollywood Studios in a single day, Lightning Lanes are going to be your best cheat code for that. And this is how we'd handle Hollywood Studios Lightning Lanes in 2026 to stretch our dollar and our hour to the best of their ability. When you go to make your multi-pass pre-selections, which will either be 7 days before you check into your Disney World hotel or 3 days before your park visit if you're planning to stay off property, you'll have a tier list to abide by. Yep, T-I-E-R, not T-E-A-R. You'll only be able to pre-select one ride from the Tier 1 section, but you can select 2 or all 3 if you want from the Tier 2s. Every Hollywood Studios ride has Lightning Lane capabilities, but Tier 1 rides include Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, Rock 'n' Roller Coaster, and Slinky Dog Dash. Now, keep an eye on this list. After Rock 'n' Roller Coaster closes, a different ride from Tier 2 could move up into the Tier 1 category for the time being. Slinky Dog Dash's Lightning Lanes tend to book up the fastest, so those are the ones I'd prioritize if that is a must-do ride for you, especially since the queue for Slinky Dog is mostly outside, while the other Tier 1 attractions have queues that are mostly indoors, making their standby waits a whole lot more bearable, especially in the summer. Now, when it comes to your next 2 Lightning Lane pre-selections from Tier 2, you can go one of 2 ways. You can either select the most popular Tier 2 rides for whatever return windows you can find, just to make sure you have them. That'll include Toy Story Mania and Tower of Terror. Or you can choose 2 less in-demand Lightning Lanes, like Alien Swirling Saucers and Star Tours, and schedule Lightning Lane return windows for them as early as possible, like right after the park opens. So why would you do that? Well, once you enter Hollywood Studios, Lightning Lane tiers cease to exist. So after you use a Lightning Lane, you'll be able to book any other Lightning Lane for a ride that you still see available on your My Disney Experience app immediately after the fact, since you're allowed to hold up to 3 selections all day long. So yes, that means that after you ride your first Lightning Lane ride, you can start choosing from Tier 1 as much as you want. So the earlier you can book more Lightning Lanes the day of, the more Lightning Lane options will still be available. This means you have a better chance of grabbing another previous Tier 1 if you book a throwaway option for the first thing in the morning. Now, what about Rise of the Resistance? Well, Rise is the only ride that's not part of the multi-pass lineup. In order to get its Lightning Lane, you gotta purchase a single pass for it, which means you'll have to pay per person per ride through. You'll be able to schedule your return time for your single pass though, and you can decide what works best with your Hollywood Studios itinerary. Okay, time to talk food. Hollywood Studios is best known for its immersive restaurants and eclectic quick services and hop-in lounges. But I'm solely going to be focusing on the restaurants and lounges that'll predictably be the most packed next year, as well as which ones continue to be my all-time favorites. Okay, most popular first. 1, the table service restaurant that still tends to book up the fastest in Hollywood Studios, even though it's been around since 2023, is Roundup Rodeo Barbecue over in Toy Story Land. Roundup Rodeo Barbecue takes guests on a rootin' tootin' dining experience in a play area created by Andy himself. And Andy's one crafty little dude, so he's made this arena out of things like board games and cardboard and building blocks and lots of bright colors. But despite Andy putting in all the work into this arena, you're a fellow toy, so you can't have him see you actively moving around of your own accord. So when you hear Sarge yell overhead that Andy's coming, be prepared to freeze in place. Oh, yeah, and about the food. Barbecue's in the name, so you probably already pieced together that much of the puzzle. This meal is composed of all you care to enjoy barbecue that's served family style, meaning it's all taken right to your table for ya. Platters feature house-smoked meats and classic sides and miniature sweet surprises that'll be great for even the pickiest eaters in your party. If the picky eaters of your group aren't huge on barbecue and smoked meats, this might not be the best fit for your fam. However, there are still various sides they might still want to fill up on, like the Prospector's homemade cheddar biscuits, potato barrels, those are tater tots, Slinky Dog's mac and cheese, cowpoke corn on the cob, and cute dessert options too, like cupcake a la Forky. Okay, next, I hear about folks trying to choose between Sci-Fi Dine-In and Commissary Lane and 50s Primetime Cafe at Echo Lake all the time. Both have very different vibes, but both have also created quite the name for themselves as being some of the most innovative dining experiences in not just Hollywood Studios, but all of Disney World. So, how do you choose which one to prioritize if you're stuck in the same toss-up? I genuinely have to make this decision on the regular, and it's not easy, even though I've been to both of them a million times. Okay, so just answer these 3 questions. 1, do you prefer diner eats or home-style eats? Sci-Fi's cuisine is more focused on diner-style foods like burgers and shakes and ribs, while the 50s Primetime takes pride in its meatloaf and fried chicken and other home-style items just like Grandma used to make. So while Sci-Fi is more French fries, 50s Primetime is more mashed potatoes. Now 2, do you prefer retro movie vibes or retro family sitcom vibes? Sci-Fi Dine-In will have you watching cheesy black and white sci-fi film clips in a dimly lit setting that makes you feel like you're actually hanging out at a drive-in movie theater. The 50s Primetime Cafe also feels like a time capsule thanks to its kitschy vintage setting that drops you into a 1950s kitchen with all your aunts and uncles and cousins and brothers-in-law and whatever. Those are your servers, by the way. And 3, are you more of an introvert or an extrovert? This is actually way more relevant than you might think. A big part of 50s Primetime Cafe is the server interaction. And while you can always tell your host before you're seated that you'd rather be a spectator of the family than a direct part of it, being welcomed into the family with a healthy bit of light teasing is really the shtick of this restaurant. Meanwhile, Sci-Fi Dine-In gives you a convertible card table where you'll all face forwards and watch the show. No conversing. So if you'd rather sit in the dimly lit setting and recharge your social batteries, Sci-Fi might be the right one for you. But if you want to go stand in the corner or sing I'm a Little Teapot in front of the entire restaurant, it's 50s Primetime. Now, 3, Galaxy's Edge may not have a table service restaurant, but it definitely has the most interesting food park-wide that continues to be popular with Star Wars fans and adventurous eaters alike. For a full quick service meal featuring intergalactic cuisine, head to Docking Bay 7. For a grab-and-go space hot dog, head to Ronto Roasters. I know, it's so much more than a hot dog. Now for cold brews and questionable popcorn flavors, hit up Katsaka's Kettle. For the novelty blue and green milk that you'll see featured in Star Wars canon, go to the Milk Stand. And for a Spaceport bar with unique otherworldly drinks, both alcoholic and non, as well as a few hearty appetizer options that you can enjoy along with the music from DJ Rex, make reservations for Oga's Cantina or see if there's any walk-up availability for this cantina on the day of your visit. Okay, time to talk about my personal favorites. The restaurants I just talked about are great. They're awesome. They're fun. But if I'm really choosing the restaurants I actually want to go to the most in Hollywood Studios, popularity aside, Here's where I'm going. First up, Hollywood Brown Derby right off Hollywood Boulevard. This restaurant probably could have been added to the most popular section too. After all, it's the only signature restaurant in the entire park, but I wanted to claim it for myself just because I really like it. Hollywood Brown Derby is a replica of the famous Hollywood Landmark restaurant, so if you're looking for someplace to eat that spirits the golden age of Hollywood, then this is the place to be. This restaurant's always changing things up on us. So entrees, apps, desserts, and drink specials do rotate out often. It's a signature restaurant, which means it's expensive, but it also means that it has a market-inspired menu. A few consistent staples of this place that have stood the test of time include the famous Cobb salad, the grapefruit cake, and the grapefruit cake martini. If you miss your opportunity to grab reservations for this one, see if there's a walk-up waitlist you can join for the Hollywood Brown Derby Lounge. Since the lounge portion of this restaurant, which is outside by the way, so be prepared, will still give you the chance to order off the full menu. Now, this might surprise you, or maybe it won't. Maybe I'm more predictable than I give myself credit for, but the rest of my favorites list for Hollywood Studios is going to be comprised of quick service locations, like Backlot Express over in Echo Lake. My scriptwriter Bria always makes fun of me when I start talking about the chicken tenders here, but they are elite, okay? Plus, I just like Disney's chicken tenders, period. And what makes these dudes even better is the fact that I can pair them with a giant cup of plastic cheese. It's just $1 and it's a giant cup, y'all. So basically, AJ heaven on earth. Okay, enough about the chicken. What else is at Backlot that's maybe more newsworthy? Well, you got those teriyaki bowls, including a plant-based tofu bowl, Southwest salads, a few different sandwich and burger offerings, and the Wookiee cookie dessert made with 2 thick oatmeal cookies sandwiching a glob of vanilla cream filling with a little chocolate bandolier across the top because Chewbacca. Now, I'm more inclined to visit Backlot than I am ABC Commissary off Commissary Lane, but that doesn't mean I'm discrediting that quick service any. You can get some substantial entrees at ABC for a real decent price point, including street tacos, Mediterranean salads, a plant-based California burger, and my personal favorite, the buffalo chicken grilled cheese sandwich. What can I say? This former New Yorker loves her buffalo and melty cheese. My big issue with ABC Commissary, honestly, is how boring the theming is. You're just eating in a cafeteria. They need to take a leaf out of the Backlot Express book. Now, Fairfax Fair on Sunset Boulevard has been the keeper of the waffle bowls for a couple of years now, which I'm more than okay with, even though I tell you to never go to Sunset Ranch Market. The waffle bowls have been the most interesting items that this counter service window has ever provided. The waffle bowls come in 4 different flavors, but if I were to rank them, the plant-based soba noodle bowl would be on the bottom tier for me just because it doesn't have those fluffy mashed potatoes on the inside. Then I'd probably say the braised barbecue brisket is next, since that can skimp on the meat at times. The Korean barbecue pork belly is in second place. Sweet barbecue sauce plus mashed potato goodness? Perfect. And again, due to my possibly predictable nature here, the best waffle bowl in my opinion is the buffalo chicken one because, in our experience, it tends to come with the most meat. It's got a little bit of a kick to it, lots of great texture, and of course, mashed potatoes. Finally, I must admit, if I were given the choice between eating at Roundup Rodeo Barbecue or Woody's Lunchbox, there's a good chance I'm picking the Lunchbox because the menu is just cozy and I love that grilled 3-cheese sandwich with a side of tomato basil soup. I know, more melty cheese. I need help. Now, what about Hollywood Studios' snack scene? Because it is ever changing. Lots of seasonal treats pop up around those snack windows and kiosks. But if you're looking for which snack locations we're predicting to be the top picks of 2026, here's where we'd place our money. Number 1, Trolley Car Cafe in Hollywood Boulevard. Now, the main reason why Trolley Car Cafe is going to be so popular next year is because I'm just going to keep getting back in line and ordering my beloved carrot cake cookie from the bakery display case. But in all seriousness, Trolley Car Cafe proves to be a popular snack place, not just because of my carrot cake cookie obsession, but also because this is where you're going to find the Starbucks branded products. I'd avoid hitting this place up first thing in the morning, y'all, just because that's when it tends to get the most crowded. I still have no idea why people wait in a super long line to get into Disney World first thing in the morning and then just go wait in a Starbucks line for an hour. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, if you don't care about Starbucks necessarily, then you might be better off hitting up one of the 2 Joffrey's locations in the park instead, like the one right outside of Toy Story Land on the Animation Courtyard side, or the one outside of Tower of Terror. Nobody knows that one's there. just go to that one. However, these can have their fair share of queue lines too, so just be mindful of the lines and don't jump into one of the Joffrey's queues if it looks too intimidating. A good rule of thumb is to try going to the Joffrey's near Tower of Terror while one of the Beauty and the Beast stage shows is happening, since it can get crowded once the show lets out. And as for the Joffrey's outside of Toy Story Land, this one's actually typically less busy in the morning versus in the afternoon, just because lots of folks will pass it on by as they make a beeline to the Toy Story area to get in line for Slinky Dog. Next is Hollywood Scoops on Sunset Boulevard. If you love hard-packed ice cream, you're not going to find it too many places in Disney World. Usually only one location in each park is going to have that. And here it's Hollywood Studios. This is a place where you can get a classic scoop of ice cream in a cup or a cone, or you can get a little fancy with it by ordering an over-the-top shake or sundae instead. Hollywood Scoops regularly has limited edition ice cream concoctions on the menu, so be sure to check out what's available here for the season before you head this way. And let's talk really quickly about Epic Eats in Echo Lake. Not only is this Hollywood Studios one-stop shop for all things funnel cakes, but Epic Eats has recently introduced some fun cold brew options to their menu too, including the Epic Cold Brew Spectacular, themed around the nearby Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular stage show. This is made with vanilla-flavored Joffrey's Cold Brew coffee with a cookie butter cold foam and your share of the treasure. That's golden coin sprinkles and a chocolate Indiana Jones hat, which is very cute. Now, if you want to learn even more about Hollywood Studios snacks, check out our exclusive Snacks in Hollywood Studios video when you get the chance. Okay, each Disney World park has its live entertainment, but Hollywood Studios really goes above and beyond with all their stage show offerings. So much so that there's a good chance you're going to have to choose one or two to prioritize for this trip if you're not willing to spend your whole Hollywood Studios day watching back-to-back performances. But which shows should you pick? Let me help you out with that. If you're a hopeless romantic, choose Beauty and the Beast live on stage off Sunset Boulevard. This show's been around the Hollywood studio scene for quite a while, but it's still fun to come back to. You've got live singing, set changes, a few fun magical transformation moments, and a tale of unlikely romance that's truly as old as time. If you like a little unpredictability to go along with your Disney experience, choose Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After, also off of Sunset Boulevard. Between Captain Hook, Maleficent, and Cruella de Vil, it's up to you as the audience to vote for who you think was the most unfairly accused during their personal Disney story. I mean, it's not their fault things turned out the way they did, right? If you want to be able to belt out the songs along with the performers on stage and not get judged for it, choose for the first time in forever a Frozen sing-along celebration in Echo Lake. Here, two lively storytellers will recap the story of Frozen, while you get the chance to sing along with the popular songs from the film. You might even get to sing along with a few Frozen friends too, and experience a grand finale snowfall. Now, if you're less about the singing, more about the action, choose Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. Again, this is another classic show of the park that was even around during the MGM Studios days. I can remember being very, very scared of the loud noises here. Epic Stunt Spectacular walks you through how actors are able to pull off some rather impressive stunts on stage, from falling off buildings to crashing and combusting cars to barely escaping giant boulders barreling straight towards you. Now, if you always thought that the old Little Mermaid show that used to be in Hollywood Studios could have been better, choose The Little Mermaid: A Musical Adventure, since it is indeed better than it was. A lot of this new Little Mermaid show is very reminiscent of the one that was here before, still recaps the tale of Ariel and friends through song and puppetry and special effects, but now there are even more effects and more songs and more show scenes and more technology bringing this show to life daily. And if you love all things nighttime spectacular, or are you wanting to see the biggest stage attraction of them all, this is your first ever Hollywood Studios trip and you've never seen this show before, then don't simply choose Fantasmic, prioritize it. Unlike the other stage shows I just mentioned, which have several showings throughout the day, Fantasmic only happens once or twice each night. It's like the fireworks in Magic Kingdom, right? So double check the My Disney Experience app for showtimes and get ready to witness the power of Mickey's imagination as it brings popular Disney animated songs and characters and moments to the outdoor stage in one big medley of action. Now, since some of the key reasons you're going to go to Hollywood Studios in the first place is to ride rides and see shows and eat snacks, you might accidentally miss out on some of these fun extras just because they slipped under your radar. In Hollywood Boulevard, find your hand twin in front of the Chinese Theater. All the handprints in the cement in front of this replica building are from real live celebrities. It's fun to take a moment and see if you can find the handprints and signature from your favorite actor or even one of your favorite Disney characters. And while it's always fun to do a little back-to-back shopping down the Hollywood Boulevard strip, those Hollywood Boulevard shops do stay open for an extra 30 minutes after the park closes if you're looking to do some last-minute merch pickup. Despite how popular this little snowman is, Olaf can be hard to track down for a meet and greet in Disney World these days. But if you want a guaranteed place to see him, head to Celebrity Spotlight inside Echo Lake for a fun, summerific photo op. Note that Olaf is currently splitting his meet and greet time. From 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. daily, he'll be an exclusive meet and greet character for Disney Visa cardholders, which will include complimentary PhotoPass downloads from their visit with him too. While the remainder of the day, until 5 to 6 p.m., he'll be open for all guests to come and give warm hugs. Speaking of meet and greets, Mickey and Minnie have their own meet and greet location on Commissary Lane at Red Carpet Dreams. While Minnie's busy fashioning off her movie star attire, this is one of the rare locations where you'll get to have some one-on-one meet and greet time with Sorcerer Mickey. Now, there's literally so much to do in Galaxy's Edge that has nothing to do with the rides and restaurants. If you download the Play Disney Parks app, you can pull up the Star Wars data pad and use it to go on missions, as well as collect cargo and translate Aurebesh and hack into droid technology and a whole lot of other fun stuff that further unravels the stories going on around the planet of Batuu. If you have a Magic Band Plus, you can also use the Play Disney Parks app to become a bounty hunter and go on different missions that you won't be able to find on your Star Wars data pad otherwise. The bounty board is located near Smuggler's Run. Once you get to the bounty board, you'll tap your Magic Band Plus to the board to get your bounty hunter assignment. And let's not forget all the shopping there is to do here. From the Black Spire Outpost to Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities to the specialty custom stores that require advance reservations, like building your lightsaber at Savi's Workshop and Droid Depot, the shopping around Galaxy's Edge is an event in and of itself. And now we've come to what might be my favorite place to explore in Hollywood Studios that has nothing to do with the main attractions, Walt Disney Presents over in Animation Courtyard. This tells the story of Walt's childhood as well as his growing passion for animation and theme park development during the course of his career through many sketches and models and little TV clips from his wonderful world of Disney days. At the end of the tour, you can also sometimes see glass case exhibits featuring costumes that have appeared in upcoming or recently released live-action Disney films. There's also a theater where you can watch a short film and cry about Walt Disney. However, if there's a new Disney film about to be released to a theater near you, One Man's Dream might be replaced to show an exclusive 10 to 15 minute preview of the movie before it reaches the big screen, and that is also super cool. Y'all have been throwing me some tough Hollywood questions lately, so I thought now would be as good a time as any to address the top ones that I receive daily. Will Hollywood Studios still be worth it in 2026? I mean, for the most part, yes. Despite the heavy construction load, you've still got the majority of the main rides and shows in Hollywood Studios that'll be up and running and filling your entire day. But if a lot of heavy construction is going to make you feel FOMO even while you're inside the park, you may want to wait to plan your vacation until at least the second half of 2026 when some of these construction walls will come down and new experiences will be ready for you to, well, experience. Is Fantasmic better than Happily Ever After? No, not better, just different. Happily Ever After in Magic Kingdom is iconic. It's gonna be a better experience for those who want classic Disney vibes and tons of fireworks. But if you want a nighttime spectacular that has more live acting and special effects beyond pyrotechnics, and a way for you to just sit and watch the show instead of standing and potentially being blocked by heads the entire time, Fantasmic may be more up your alley. Didn't you say you didn't like the carrot cake cookie before? Yeah, so about that. The carrot cake cookie might be reliable now, but I will admit the recipe has changed since its OG days back in the writer's stop. But that happens to Disney snacks a lot. Snacks come and go, ingredients change, seasonal overlays happen for even the most classic of Disney treats. But that's why we do what we do here, because we want to make sure the snacks we're recommending are still worth it, even as time goes on and, things change. Plus, we want to give other snacks a second, third, or even fourth chance just in case they change and start to taste a whole lot better after some tweaks and recipe improvements. So right now, at this very moment, yes, I love the carrot cake cookie, though I miss its OG recipe. But the next time I pick up this snack and it lets me down, I have way more of an allegiance toward you guys than that snack. So I'll let you know the moment something throws off my groove, rest assured. Okay, if you could only do one thing in Hollywood Studios, what would it be? Now this one's tricky. The DFB team might make fun of me for this, but if the line for Slinky Dog Dash wasn't so stinking long, I'd just keep getting back on that family coaster over and over again, because I love it. It's smooth, it's cute, it's thrilling without being over the top. It's got an impressive bird's eye view over Toy Story Land, and Wheezy the squeaker toy serenades you at the very end when he's not broken, which is rare. Like, how can you not love this one? So yes, Hollywood Studios isn't going to be in its prettiest form next year, but that certainly doesn't mean things won't be exciting for this park in 2026. If you're ready to keep on planning or just keep on living vicariously through the Hollywood Studios videos, then stick around and check out one of our other Hollywood Studios vids next, like ranking every Hollywood Studios snack. That's a super fun one. And our best ride tips for Hollywood Studios. That's an important one. And don't forget to pick up our free 12-month Disney World calendar today over at disneyfoodblog.com/WDW calendar. It is so super useful, y'all. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and I'll see you real soon.